Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I am bringing you another Yarnie update. This is Yarnie update number 30, and I haven't talked to you about any of the projects I stitched on since the beginning of December. I did do Vlogmas in December, so if you want to see some of the things that I was working on during the month, you can definitely check out those videos, but I've been pretty busy lately uploading videos for my BookTube channel. I do a lot of content for my BookTube channel, which is a channel where I talk about all of the books and manga that I've read during the month. And so I've been posting quite a few videos there, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been stitching since I talked to you last. So I did want to come on and talk about what I have been stitching since the beginning of December. It hasn't been very much. A majority of our clientele need things done by the end of December, and so my desk at work is very busy towards the end of the year. Stress levels have been very high, and so I haven't really been stitching a lot. I think I talked about in my last Yarnie update how I was getting socked out because all I've been doing lately has been knitting socks, and I'm still not really enjoying knitting socks. You will see some coming up in this episode about socks I have been knitting on, but I've been really enjoying garment knitting, and so yeah. Been doing a lot of reading, a lot of posting for my BookTube channel. I've been playing a little bit of video games and doing a little bit of stitching. So let's get into it and talk about what I am currently stitching, and then we'll talk about some finished objects, and then we'll move into some acquisitions. So yeah, what have I been currently stitching? So I'll talk about the thing that has been taking up most of my knitting time currently, and it is living in my, I think this is called Retro Ornaments bag. I got this one from Stitching the High Notes shop in December. You would have seen this in my Vlogmas videos if you have watched those, but I definitely had gotten this one in December. It is a sweater size bag, so there is a sweater living in it. So I am participating in the Crazy Cable Sweater Knit Along that's being hosted by Crazy Sock Lady and Sock Witchery. And I decided to go ahead and do the Namu Sweater. So the Namu Sweater is a sweater that is designed by Knit Boop. It is a free pattern, but it is not available on Ravelry any longer. It is available on her website, though. So I am doing the size F, and I have already separated for the sleeves, and I've done about this much of the body. So you can see that there is a cable down the side panel of the sweater. There's some seed stitch and another cable panel in the middle, and then the back portion is completely plain. And so I have been really enjoying this project. I haven't been working on it very long. I think I started this mid-January, so yeah, it's been taking up a lot of my knitting time. This is all I really want to work on. It's moving along really quick, and I'm really enjoying it because, like I said, the front panel has interest, and then the back panel is just plain. And so I get the best of both worlds as far as my stitching goes. This is a worsted weight sweater also, so that is also why it's going along so quickly. It is obviously top down in the round, and I am just loving this project. So I am working this up in Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. Oh, that's upside down. Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Calypso Heather colorway. I had actually gotten a sweater quantity of this yarn for a different sweater. I've had it for a while now, and I've decided that I just didn't want to work on that sweater anymore. I didn't want to have that sweater. And so it had the perfect amount of skeins to use for the Namu Sweater, and so I am using the yarn for that. Namu is the Korean word for tree, I believe, and so the cables in the front, I believe, are supposed to represent trees, and I am just loving that. It looks awesome. The chart is really easy to understand, and I am just having a great time stitching away on this. And so, yeah, this has been what's been taking up most of my stitching time the last couple weeks. And I am super excited to have this project done soon. Hopefully, the Olympics are coming up though, and I, like I did during the Summer Olympics, am going to take off of work during the Olympics because I really, really enjoyed spending all of that time watching all of the sports. I am hoping to catch some new sports that we are not able to usually watch during the Olympics because we normally, during the Olympics, only catch the primetime coverage, and so we miss, like, the curling and biathlon, I think, and some of the things like that. We only get the highlights, and so I'm really looking forward to catching more of the Olympics sports events. And yeah, so I don't anticipate that I will be able to work on this particular sweater during the Olympics just because I do have to follow a chart in order to work that front panel, and it's kind of hard to concentrate on a chart and watch sports at the same time, especially when you have things like ice skating where you kind of need to be watching the entire time, bobsled and all of that. I am definitely looking forward to ice skating and the bobsled events. They're events that I look forward to every Winter Olympics. And I just read that the Jamaican bobsled team will be making an appearance for the first time in 25 years, I think. The headline for the article that I read said Cool Runnings 2 or 2.0, and I just think that's amazing. And so, yeah, I think I will need to put this sweater on hold during the Olympics, but we'll see how far I get before the Olympics start. So that's the project that is currently on my needles and taking a majority of my time. I do have a couple other projects that I did work on in December, and so I will share those with you now. So living in this bag, I got this off of a maker on Etsy, and I can't remember the maker's name, but I'll put it right here. They do these vinyl see-through bags with Disney fabric on top, and so this particular bag has Aurora on top because that is my mom's favorite Disney princess, and so the project in this bag is for my mom. So I am working, or haven't actively stitched on this since December, but I worked on a pair of Christmas socks for her. So I did get one sock finished, and I didn't bring my sock blocker out, so I apologize. But this is the first sock done. This is the Jemima pattern by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears podcast, and it's just a simple textured pattern, slip stitch, heel flap. I think this is a square heel turn, and then her umbrella toe, yes. And so this is the first sock. I didn't finish this. I do work my mom's socks on size 2.75 millimeter needles with a 64 or 60 stitch circumference, and so this particular pattern is one that needs a 64 stitch, and so this is all I have done on the second sock. Not great, but yeah, I just wasn't feeling working on socks, and so I stopped. Besides that, I did have a project that I needed to get done, a project that had a deadline, and so that's another reason why I stopped working on this. I do eventually want to get back to this. This pattern seems to be easy enough that I might be able to work on it during the Olympics. So we'll see if I gravitate towards this project. But chances are kind of low, I would say. I'm just not feeling the socks. I'm not feeling the socks. So I am working those socks out of a skein of Mali socks. So this is, I'm not going to pronounce that. It's something in German, but it's the Ferner Wall in the color 24, 12, 20. And so the skein looks like this. It is a 150 gram skein, 450 meters, made in Austria. 75% superwash virgin wool, 25% polyamide. And I had already made myself a pair of socks out of this yarn. And so I'm working my mom a pair of socks. There should be enough by time I am done with my mom's socks to make my daughter a pair. So all three of us will have a pair of socks in that yarn, hopefully. And then the heels and toes, I am working in Knit Picks Stroll Figuring in the Aurora Heather colorway. And I just love this color. It's a very gorgeous dark green color. Stroll, it doesn't really hold up well for heels. I haven't had a problem with the toes, but my heels always get really like fuzzy. They haven't worn through yet, but they always fuzz up really fast. And so I kind of don't enjoy that, but it's very soft. It's nice and comfortable. And so, yeah. So this is what my mom's Christmas sock for 2021 will look like eventually when I get that done. And so, yeah, I do have one more thing to share before we get into finished objects. So let me grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, last thing currently on my needles is living in this bag, which is the High Q Cosmetics bag. But I use it for my daughter's sock projects because it's nice and large. And High Q is a manga and anime of a boys' high school volleyball team kind of working its way towards the top. It's a story that my family really, really enjoys. And in this bag is my daughter's kind of house socks, I guess. I think you call them house socks. And so this is also half done. So I have one sock here. This is the Cozy Reading Socks, I believe is what the pattern is called by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast again. This particular pattern is free to Bakery Bear patrons, and it is not available other than to their patrons. It's part of their Knitting University series of tutorials that they had, I think, for 2021. This was one of the patterns for 2021. And so, yes, it is a DK weight yarn held together with a mohair, and it's just got this kind of knotty design or texture. It incorporates her butterfly heel, and so that's a new heel that she had published with this pattern for the first time. And so it has that, and then it also has her umbrella toe. And so these are just some fuzzy house socks for my daughter. Like I said, this is half done again. I have this much. So again, just about the same amount as I had for my mom's. I am working these on size 4 6mm needles. This is the Addy squared flexi flip type needles, and so I really enjoy using these, and so far I don't have any complaints about this one. The squared version of these needles are much longer than the normal Addy Flexi Flips. And so I enjoy that as well. It gives me a lot more to hold on to. And the tips aren't as sharp as, say, the High Flyers, which I definitely don't enjoy using because I constantly poke myself. But I do enjoy these. These are sharp enough that I can do the type of texture kind of design that's on this particular socks without any issue, but they're not sharp enough where I'm constantly feeling like I'm hurting myself when I'm using these needles, because I do tend to push as I knit, and so my fingertip can get rather sore if it is too sharp. But these are lovely. I really enjoy these needles, and hopefully these will be done soon. Maybe it might not be, I don't know. This too seems like something that I should be able to do during the Olympics, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get this one done as well, but yeah. These are some nice thick house socks for my daughter. This is being done in Serdar Snuggly Cashmere Merino Silk. This is, like I said, the DK. This colorway is Prince Charming. It's called Prince Charming. It's just a nice, like, dusty blue color. And it is 75% extra fine merino wool, 20% silk, 5% cashmere. It is lovely. It's so soft. Really, really enjoy working with that. And then the mohair is my leftovers from my Comfort Fade Cardi that I did last year. This is Knit Picks Aloft in the Pullover colorway. And so I'm really, really enjoying using those two together. It is a lovely squishy fabric. And yeah, I do have other yarn to work on a pair of these for my mom and myself as well. And so yeah, you also saw a pair that I had done for my dad's wife for Christmas. So this is the second pair of these that I'm working up, and I really enjoy the pattern. As with all of Kay's patterns, it's very easy to understand, and the umbrella heel, it seems to fit well. I did try this on because my daughter and I wear the same length of sock, and since this is a house sock, this one is made to fit like a majority of people's feet, so that it doesn't come in multiple sizes. And so I did try this on. It fits lovely. The heel fits lovely. Not quite sure how well this heel will wear though, because it is just stockinette stitch. But yeah, since it's a house sock, it doesn't really matter because I'll be wearing them in house shoes. Or we will be wearing them in house shoes when we're walking around in the house. And so, yeah, I think my daughter will primarily be using these when she sleeps, though, and not really for, like, house wear, walking around the house in. But, yeah, I really, really love this, and so hopefully that will get done soon as well. So let me put this away, and we'll get into what I have finished recently. So that is no stitches required. So there is a very obvious finished object. I'm sure you've all noticed what I've been wearing in this video. This is the Voyager sweater. The pattern is not yet out. It is a pattern that is coming from Bad Wolf Girl Studios. So this sweater was inspired by Moana. And so all of the designs on this sweater have some connection to Moana. I will stand up really fast so that you can see. And yeah, so I'm actually not going to be talking about this sweater in detail here because, like I said, the pattern is not out yet, but I have been filming a project vlog on this project. And so when the pattern is out, you will be able to watch my project vlog where I talk about why I decided on the colors that I have used for this sweater, what yarns I used for the sweater, and all of the modifications that I made. And so, yeah, I was lucky enough to test knit this sweater for Megan, and I couldn't be happier. Obviously, if you've watched some of my videos, you know that I was born and raised in Hawaii, and so Moana is definitely something that I enjoy and kind of has a dear connection to where I grew up. And so, yeah, I couldn't be happier with the sweater. It fits lovely, and definitely keep an eye out for that project vlog. I believe the pattern will be coming out within the next month or so, I think, but don't hold me to that. And yeah, this was the project that I had the deadline on, and I am happy to say that I met the deadline with several weeks to go, and I couldn't be happier. So definitely keep an eye out for that pattern. And like I said, the project vlog for this project will be out when the pattern is released. So I hope you keep an eye out for that one to hear me talk all about this sweater. And so the other finished objects that I need to tell you about, I actually don't have, and I actually shared them during my Vlogmas videos. So if you've watched Vlogmas, you've already seen these, but I am talking about the Stormtrooper beanies that I made for my nieces. This particular pattern, I believe, is by Lindsay Onken. Yes, Lindsay Onken. And I made 2 of these beanies, as you can see in this photo. I sent them off to my nieces, and the Postal Service promptly lost them. The hats never made it to my nieces. The Postal Service cannot find them. And so, yeah, I do need to make another set. Not too enthused that the post office lost these 2 hats for my nieces, and yeah, so all I have to show for my work is this picture. But I was very, very pleased with both of them. I made matching beanies for my nieces. My nieces are 7 and 4 years old, and they're big Disney fans, and my brother's really into Star Wars, and so my intention was to make these beanies for my nieces and get those off for Christmas, and then make matching ones in gray for my brother and his wife. And so now I need to redo these 2 beanies. But the pattern was really easy to understand. I used an 80 stitch count for both hats, and I increased to 100 stitches, and it seemed to work out perfectly. So I couldn't have been happier with those 2 hats, except now I have to redo them. So yeah, that was kind of a downer. I haven't had great luck with the Postal Service. They've lost about 5 things. For me personally, 4 of them were things that I've ordered for myself. One of them was something that I sent off as a gift. And so that has all been in the last 2 months or so. So yeah, I don't really have great faith in the Postal Service at the moment, but if you're trying to get something to Hawaii, the only way to get it there without spending an arm and a leg for FedEx or UPS is through the Postal Service. And these hats were sent off insured, so we did get a check because they can't find it. I do hope that eventually they'll get there. But in the meantime, I do have plans to make replacements. And so, yeah, that's all of the items that I have finished stitching since I talked to you last, in the last Yarnie update anyway, not through Vlogmas. But yeah, so that's everything that I have stitched on since the last Yarnie update. I do have a couple of acquisitions to share with you, so let me gather those and I'll be right back. Okay, so I do have one skein of yarn, and that was my December Yarn Club order from Little Skein in the Big Wool? Little Skein in the Big Wool. I always want to say Little Skein in the Big Woods because it's a play on Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. And so, yeah, but it is my Kindred Spirits Yarn Club order, and this was December's shipment. And so this particular yarn club is bi-monthly, so every other month. And so this was the December colorway. This one is called Beaded Slippers. And I think the little note that we had gotten on the inspiration for this colorway had something to do with a pair of beaded slippers that Anne got as a present from Aunt Josephine Barry. And so, yeah, I really, really love this colorway. It definitely goes with a couple of the other skeins that I had gotten. The only problem is she changed her base. And so instead of having the normal wool and nylon blend, we are now getting a cashmere blend. So this actually came on the new base. It is a 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. And so this obviously won't go well, I don't think, with those other skeins. The colorway definitely does, but the feel is so different from those other skeins. I wouldn't use it in a project with those. But yes, I couldn't be happier. Definitely looking forward to more skeins in this club because I really, really enjoy hearing about Anne's inspiration for these skeins and where she's pulling them from the stories. Anne of Green Gables is still a series that I haven't finished reading yet. I finished 4 of the books, and so I do need to finish that one up. It is on my list of series I'd like to read from this year. I did do a video about those series on my BookTube channel, so if you're interested, definitely check out my BookTube channel. It's always linked down in the description box below. And so, yes, so this was the only skein of yarn that I have purchased or have received. I think have received and have purchased are correct since my last Yarnie update. Actually, there were a couple other things that I received during Vlogmas, so I haven't shared those here because I had already shared those during Vlogmas, but if you're interested in seeing some of the other things I received during December, definitely check out those Vlogmas videos. But I did also just yesterday receive some knitting needles that I ordered. And so I think on the last Yarnie update, I talked to you, I can't even remember, but I think it was on the last Yarnie update, I talked to you about some Denise flexi, like flip type needles. And they were really, really inexpensive. And I've just been really enjoying their products. And so I decided to go ahead and pick up a whole set of their knitting needles. So this is the breast cancer edition of their knitting needles. A portion of this purchase did go towards a donation towards breast cancer research. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, and so I do try to support breast cancer items, things, especially if they're raising funds for breast cancer research. And so I decided to pick this one up. This particular set, though, does not have the pink cords. I happened to stumble upon the fact that they had a set with teal cords. So this is what the set looks like. It's needle sizes from 5 to 15. There's a bunch of different size cords. There's some stoppers and extenders, and these are all plastic. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to using these. I think I will be using them for my next sweater project. And so it came with this little brochure thing, and it shows all of the types of items that they offer. So the Denise Pink line, supporting breast cancer research since 2006. These needles also came really, really fast. These are the double pointed needles that I was talking about. They're the Flex double pointed needles. So they do sell an entire set of those, but I decided to just pick up the ones that I needed because I don't think I'll need an entire set. I just don't foresee me needing a size 15 flexi flip. But yeah, so I decided to save some money there and just pick up the ones that I needed. And then they also do several other types of needle sets. So they have different colored needles and brights and pastels and things like that. And their kits also come like this. So I'm really excited to use that. And it was a purchase that I had intended to make in December. I just didn't get around to doing it. And so I ordered them just earlier this week. And they came really, really fast. Like I said, I just got them yesterday. And so the other thing that I ordered came like this. And it is a pair of their short tip needle sets. Or a pair. It's a set of their short tip needles. And so this one came in a fabric pouch. And you open it up like this. And again, it's got those gray plastic needles, again from size 5 through 15, and it's got your short cables, and these are blue. You can order whatever color cable you want. They have a whole rainbow selection of cables that you can buy separately, so you can really customize your set to whatever color you prefer. I obviously will always go for the turquoise and teal colors if I can get them, but I am more than happy to have a set of blue ones as well, and so I'm looking forward to using these. I picked these up because I wanted to have a set of short tips to work the sleeves on that Namu sweater, and I wanted to see how these would do. I do have a set of short tip needles from Knit Picks, which I enjoy. They're metal, but just wanted to try something new, and so I decided to pick these up as well. I do think that their needles are very economical, and so if you're looking for a set of cheaper needles, I definitely check out the Denise ones because I enjoy using them. And you may think, oh, they're plastic, but I haven't had an issue with them. I haven't had an issue with the yarn kind of grabbing on or like sticking or anything like that. I've just really, really enjoyed what I've used from them so far. So I'm really looking forward to using those needles as well. And so that will do it for everything that I have gotten recently, everything I've stitched on, and everything I have finished. So as far as real life stuff, there's nothing really much going on here. My daughter will be returning to in-classroom learning, I guess is the term, this week. So that's happening. And work, I'm still working from home. I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. But I'm more than happy to be working from home. I seem to get more things done. I can work as long as I need to without feeling the need to leave because it's either dark and I'm going to be going down to the parking lot by myself and things like that, because that is always a worry for me, because a lot of times when I do have to work late, there's nobody around, and so me going to an empty parking lot by myself is always something to be concerned about, but I don't have to worry about that because I'm working from home now, and I really enjoy it. I don't feel the pressure to make sure that I'm getting out of the office at a certain time to make sure that I'm not alone going down to the parking lot and things like that. And so it's been a blessing and a curse, because I think because I've been working from home, I don't feel, the need to, say my day is done at the normal time, and I tend to work longer just because I'm like, oh, I've got some time, just let me, work on this and then I'll be done. But yeah, definitely something to work on. I'm setting my work schedule, making sure I'm done with work at a normal time on a regular basis instead of always putting in extra time. Stress has definitely been something that has made itself known in my body towards the end of 2021, and so I definitely need to work on my stress levels and work on maintaining calm and managing my stress better. So that's definitely something I'm wanting to focus on in 2022. And other than that, I think I already told you that I am taking vacation during the Olympics, so that's in a week or so. And yeah, so that's pretty much all that I've been up to lately. Let me know down in the comments below what you have been working on, what your most favorite new acquisition was, if you've gotten any fun Yarnie purchases in, or what your favorite project that you have finished lately has been. I'd definitely like to know, so please share it with me down in the comments below. If nothing else, and you would just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a tree emoji down in the comments below and like this video, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. The tree emoji is for my Namu sweater, which I have been enjoying working on, and that will pretty much do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.